So this is something called Mochlin ware, as is this box. It's Mochlin ware. Now, Mochlin ware is usually made of ash or maple, and it's treated for a really long time. So obviously by the name, it's a style that was created in Mochlin, and they would take the wood, and it would be as pale as possible usually, and that was more for the decorations, because transfers were a fairly new thing, so that they could transfer really intricate pictures and photos, which was also new technology, you know. And it was used mainly for souvenir items, but anything could be made out of Mochlin ware. Literally thimbles, anything can be made out of Mochlin ware, if it can be made out of wood, you know. So what they do is they lacquer it and leave it for like a week, 2 weeks. Lacquer it again, leave it. So this is a process that takes months for each item, you know, and they make them so hardy, which is awesome because these things all survive really well. Now there are Mochlin societies, but you kind of have to pay to be a member, and I'm like, I collect Mochlin, but I'll just do it on my own. I don't really need a society. But I like this because I'd not seen an egg timer, and also the fact that it's got this tartan design on it. That was quite a thing, you know. Very Scottish. I like that. This one is a Dunoon, and it's filled with other wee items. So this is, I don't know if you can see that, but it's a picture of Dunoon on the front, Dunoon Bay. And it's quite a nice little thing.
Oh, right.
You know? It actually came with a wee tag, and it was Burns County with the Burns Monument on the front, but I've given that to Alex to give to my friend in Venice because she's a wee collector of things, and I thought that might make a nice wee present for her. This is a Glasgow spoon, which I'm going to pass around. It's another souvenir item, but it's so intricate. It's got so much, like, even though it's just pictorial, it's got so much information on it. You know, you've got the thistles, you've got the boat coming into Glasgow because it was such an industrial trading spot, and you've got obviously the Glasgow coat of arms with the fishes. So I'll pass that one round and you just can have a wee look. All these things around, just kind of have a look. This I bought just, well, it was in the box and I thought, you know what, I'll bring it. So this is a commemorative coin for George IV's visit to Scotland, and I quite like it because the thistles on the back are really nicely rendered. Like, so I'll pass that around too. That's a thistle brooch, which again is just beautifully rendered. The leaves on this, like just the detail is absolutely beautiful. these items are all Victorian mourning jewellery. Okay, so what you would have, as people still do, they'll maybe sometimes get jewellery made out of the ashes of loved ones, or maybe a lock of hair in a locket or what have you.
Snap.
See, the Victorians went really in for this stuff. So this is a pocket watch fob, or a pocket fob of some kind. I guess you could have anything on it, or it could just be decorative. And it has a wee carved tooth in the shape of a skull, which may very well be a tooth from the previous owner's deceased loved one. This is also made from hair, and this is a really beautiful wee pocket fob that I actually sometimes wear as a bracelet because it's just quite dainty. It's quite neat, and I like the wee details on it. Really, I bought a variation of these just to show the different weaving techniques that were used on the hair. So this one shows a couple of different styles of how the pocket watch, the hair could be woven to create these really intricate pieces of jewellery. And I quite like this one, even though it's very basic. You don't really find like grey or blonde hair used for these things. They're mainly kind of brown. So I liked that was kind of paler. This is a mourning ring. So it could be lacquered hair that's making up the black strands that the gold's woven around. I haven't obviously taken it apart to find out. Like I'm not going to destroy it in a bid to find out, but I quite like that, and I wear that occasionally as well. These ones are woven in quite a different way, and I'm surprised these survived. So these are woven so that the hair creates like little balls that haven't like even been compressed at all during the time that since it was made. And these are all, say, early to late 19th century items, these hair items. This one as well.
So delicate.
The box that these came in as well was quite nice and Art
Going to see that
Deco.
as a child,
Right, yeah.
the box.
And during the pandemic, and after lockdown, obviously, Peter here came out around Glasgow and gave us a tour of the Square Mile murders scenes, because I wanted, well, I'd already started doing a real deep dive on Glasgow Square Mile murders. I like the original book, which I've read since, but it doesn't have quite the wealth of information that I managed to obtain. So what I did was I just went to the newspapers and started at the very start. We would try and find out whether the star players in each of the four cases were mentioned prior to the cases, and that was included, so any kind of background that I could get. And then we just started from the get-go, and it was all the suppositions and how people were feeling about things at the time, the evidence that was coming out, and oh my word, the wealth of information from the papers. They would take you through every court case, like so in depth. There was full scripts from like the barristers and the judges and what have you. So we came out with Glasgow's Square Mile Murders, which is a compilation of all that information. It was also YouTube videos, a series, because everyone loves a wee bit of true crime these days. And Peter was on camera at each of the places talking a wee bit about each of the scenes and what occurred at each place. So just to let you know, that's available as well.
Super.
And yeah, that's what I have brought for you to see today, and I hope you enjoyed it. Getting about the things, have a wee feel and a good look at them. Thank you very much for being so attentive.
Thank you.
Fabulous.